السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا مزيدا دائما إلى يوم يبعثون. أما بعد. So you're probably thinking, what's Shaykh doing live during the day? But Alhamdulillah, we're doing our live stream for our YouTube followers on our YouTube channel, and we're also live on TikTok as well. So primarily we will be answering questions on the live stream of the YouTube, and then inshallah we'll be looking at questions coming in from our TikTok followers as well. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So it's our first live weekend stream in which we will be answering your questions and sharing some tips with you as well. And I've got a note of a lot of questions that people have been asking me throughout the week. And some people have requested that I should talk about depression. A lot of people out there sadly are struggling with depression and anxiety. People are suffering with abusive husbands. People are in abusive relationships. So there's a lot happening, and a lot of requests have been made. Bi'idhnillah. So that's something we will be dealing with, inshallah. But firstly, I'd like to welcome our YouTube family as well, who are following live on the YouTube stream, and this is their first live program. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Akhi, where are you from? I'm also Muslim. Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah. We are based here in England, so it's good that Alhamdulillah, you are Muslim. That's something good, mashallah. I'm just going to send one or two messages whilst I'm live as well. So as I've mentioned, it's our weekend program, and you can ask us any questions that you might have regarding anything really in Ramadan, and we will take it from there. So don't feel shy and ask us your questions. I've got a lot of questions coming up in a few moments once I can get this sorted out. Let's do it like this. Anyway, also let us know in the comments, how is your Ramadan passing? And I'm hoping that you are benefiting and reaping all of the rewards of the month of Ramadan, and you are engaging in the recitation of the Quran. It's very important for you to be reciting as much Quran as possible. Yes, any questions, please do ask. That's why we're here. We're here to answer your questions. And we are multitasking, so we're going to be on TikTok as well as, well, we're going to be everywhere today, aren't we? We're traveling here and there. I'm just sending a few of these links, inshallah, and then we'll be okay to start. And let's go back on to TikTok as well. Right, so here we are. So we're, like I said, we are multitasking. We're on TikTok here, and we are on YouTube there, and we're somewhere else there as well. Right, and we're going to be here for the next hour. Anything you have, any queries that you have regarding the month of Ramadan, any tips that you want, then we will be doing that inshallah. Right, Zakaria Muhammad, you're asking regarding is mosque only Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday only for first shift, then Thursday, Friday and Saturday for second shift? Yes, because I don't know if on Saturday you come in the morning or evening. No, you come in the morning. There's class right now, Zakaria, so you need to get out of bed and you need to make your way to the masjid. Yes, you need to get out of bed quick time and be at the masjid. The Hafiz al-Taf will be waiting for you. MIZ has joined us as well. How are you, MIZ? You okay? I'm going to share the link here on YouTube as well. I don't know how I do this, but here we go. Right. Anyway, I'm going to start off with a few questions. I just need to go back onto the live stream on YouTube as well, just to make sure that I'm not missing out on any questions. Right, let's start with your questions. I'm trying to do lots of good deeds in the month of Ramadan, but I struggle a bit with tips on how to do more good deeds. I will feel like I'm not completing a day when fasting. My intention, I make it. How did you just... Okay. So one of the brothers on YouTube is asking regarding good deeds, right? And what are the tips on doing good deeds? My advice to you would be that you must go into the month of Ramadan with a fixed timetable. Okay. I've got class at 12:30. Okay, that's fine. Right. So you have to go into the month of Ramadan with a fixed timetable. Right. If you're just going to randomly read Quran and randomly do, like you're saying, you're struggling with doing good deeds and you're just going to randomly do things, then it's going to be very difficult for you. Okay. What you need to be, or what you need to do is to be disciplined with your time. You need to have a fixed time, and then you need to stick with those times that you've set for example, Quran recitation, for Quran tafsir, etc. So, for example, I'm sitting here right now because I had designated this time for the live stream. I've not just randomly come on because I've got nothing to do and I thought, well, you know what, I'll just go on to TikTok and I'll do my live stream. So once I finished my recitation of the Quran, once we finished a few of the chores that needed doing in the house, I allocated a slot for 1 hour for the YouTube followers, and then I thought what I will do is I will bring in our TikTok followers as well, so that we're, as they say, killing two birds with one stone. Okay, so you both sort of families are benefiting, the YouTube family and the TikTok family as well. So as I've mentioned, what you need to really do is have a timetable. If you're just going to randomly do things as and when, then it doesn't work like that. Or if you're going to sit for 2-3 hours and you're just reading Quran consistently, right? And then the next day you feel tired, or you feel, I think I've done my target, I won't read for the next 2 days. This is not healthy as well. What you can't do is break that momentum. Okay, and the best way to keep up the momentum in the month of Ramadan is doing actions which are small in number, okay, however they're done consistently, and that's what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam liked. أدومها وإن قل خير العمل أدومها وإن قل. The best deeds with Allah are those which are done in small numbers, small quantities, however they're done frequently as well. So one example is the example I've just given you, brother, that you've said that you're struggling, and perhaps it's because you don't have a fixed timetable. If somebody sits and does Quran for 3-4 hours, you're sitting consistently and reading Quran, it's tired, and his body's telling him stop now, but he's no, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to read. That's not healthy as well. Do you understand? And then what happens the next day? He becomes complacent because he's thinking, oh well, yesterday I sat and I read 5 juz, and my target was one juz for one khatam for Ramadan. I don't need to read for the next 5 days, right? This is not healthy. You should avoid doing this. Don't do this. So stick to that one juz a day, strictly. The 2 hours remaining, for example, if you're praying in the evening or at night, sorry, go to sleep. Go to sleep on time, and then wake up that 1 hour extra before suhoor that you would normally do, and engage in tahajjud salah. Engage in tahajjud salah, do some more Quranic recitation, take part in suhoor, and then close your fast as well. Okay? So that's what you need to do. And inshallah, that's fine. MIZ, you need to inform one of the staff members. Okay, one of the staff members. As you know, MIZ, I'm not a weekend staff member. So inshallah, they will sort it out. Okay, so as I was mentioning, that's the way to go about it. It's more healthier. There's people, believe me or not, there's people who will come back from Taraweeh and they read Quran for 4 or 5 hours. Now let's say they start at 11 o'clock, and by 2 o'clock they're getting so tired, and they're reading and they're reading and reading and reading. And then they put the Quran away at 2 o'clock, thinking I'll go to sleep for a couple of hours and I'll wake up for suhoor. They don't wake up for suhoor, and they miss Fajr as well. So Quran, which is highly recommended, of course, and you should read in Ramadan, but has come at what expense? Has come at the expense of you missing your suhoor, and has you missed your suhoor, and you've also missed your Fajr Salah and Tahajjud Salah as well. Okay? Right, so I hope that answers your question. Let's go to our next question as well. Right, I feel like not completing the day when fasting my intention, and I make it out. Okay, every day in Ramadan you make a live stream. Well, we will try to be making a live stream, inshallah. It depends how often you join us. Okay, the live stream is normally on TikTok, and that's in the evenings. So as for YouTube, we will be having the live stream every Saturday mornings. Right, so I'm going to go to one of these questions because one of the brothers was asking. He said, I'm absolutely confused between kafara and fidya. And he's saying, I've gone to 2 different imams and I've got different answers. So he wanted clarity on the rulings regarding fidya and kafara. So I'm going to explain both of them, okay, to you. The difference between fidya and kafara. Let's start off with fidya. So fidya becomes compulsory. It becomes obligatory for you to pay. Okay. At what point do you pay fidya, and what is fidya? Okay. So fidya is the fee that you will pay because you are unable to fast for circumstances which are beyond your control. Okay, you have no control over the fact that you are not able to fast. That's the first thing, okay? So you probably want some examples now. So the first example is somebody who's permanently ill, the chronically ill, okay? It's out of his hands. Doctors have said there's no recovery for you, and you need to have this medication. If you don't have this medication, this will lead to your illness getting greater and your health becoming more detrimental. Okay, so that's the first category, is the one who is permanently ill. He will pay fidya. Okay, he will pay fidya. Second are those people who are elderly and are too weak to fast. So those who are old, too weak to fast. Again, that's not their fault. that they become old. Okay, it happens. So in your circumstances, for category number 2, you are also exempted from fasting, and you will give fidya. Number 3 are those people who are in need of regular medication. Okay, otherwise their well-being, could be affected. Okay, so these are the 3 types of people who will pay fidya. I hope that makes sense. So where one is unable to fast due to reasons beyond their control, then they will do what? They will pay fidya. Okay? And in terms of what fidya is, what is the rate of fidya? The rate of fidya is £5 per fast. £5 per fast. Okay, so for every fast that you miss, you will be paying £5 fidya, which comes to £150 for the entire month. So if somebody is not fasting in the month of Ramadan because of these illnesses, then they will be giving £150 to fidya. And fidya is charity. Of course, it goes to the most needy, and you can find a charity, trustworthy, 100% donation policy, and then your money will be going and feeding the most needy. Okay, now that was fidya. Now we're going to go on to kafara. Okay, so again the question was, the brother's asking is, can you please explain the difference between fidya and kafara? So kafara is also obligatory as well. Okay, so kafara also becomes obligatory as well, to pay in circumstances where a fast is invalid or intentionally broken. So the fast becomes invalid or is deliberately broken or intentionally broken. So again, we will give you some examples. Somebody has intentionally decided to eat or drink. Okay, not accidental. If you eat accidentally, then of course, once you remember you are fasting, you will stop eating and you will continue fasting. So intentionally eating and drinking. Number 2, again, during the fasting hours, you have sexual intercourse. Or number 3, you intentionally vomit. So in all of these circumstances, you have to pay kafara. And kafara is a fine. Fidya is more of a compensation. Kafara is more of a fine. Okay, a hefty fine as well. Okay, so let's go on to the payment of kafara. So for each broken fast, you must feed 60 poor people. Okay, 60 poor people. Again, the rate of that will be the same as the rate of fidya. So that's £5. Okay, so at the rate of £5 per person, okay, and that comes to £300 per fast. Or then you'll have to fast for 2 continuous months, okay, and you don't break the cycle. You don't have a break in between. So that is the difference between kafara and fidya. So kafara, for every fast that you have broken, kafara for every fast that you have broken will cost £300. It's a fine for deliberately breaking the fast. As for fidya, that is compensation which is given, which is £150 for the entire month, and that's £5 per month per fast. So I hope, my respected brother, your question has been answered. Okay, so that's a very good question again coming from our YouTube. What is it? He's saying, is there any rewards for studying the stars and the moons. These are all the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the sun, the stars, and the moon. Okay? And once you sit down and you do tafakkar, Allah says, Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ardi wa ikhtilafil layli wal nahar. In all of these things, these are the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The sun, the moon, the stars and the moon coming out at night, the sun coming out during the day, the benefits of the sun, the benefits of the moon, the changing of the day and night. Okay, and you've mentioned about astronomy. All of these are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created all of these things, and they work in a fixed cycle. Okay, they work in a fixed cycle. For example, the day, the timing of the day is fixed throughout the year, and so are the timings of the night. They're also fixed throughout the year as well. So, for example, if you go to, the sunset times or the sunrise times throughout the year, the timings are always the same. The timings are always the same. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has fixed these things in earth for our benefit. And of course, going back centuries, there were so many benefits that people would take from the stars and the moon. With the stars, even they could, work out their way to a certain place, and they would have names for the stars, and they would know the positioning of the stars, etc. So we read a lot of this in tarihi books, history books, So I don't think you have to specifically study them, but whatever is in the Quran, if you ponder over that, inshallah, there'll be a lot of benefit in that. Let's go to our next question on YouTube as well. Wa alaikum salam. Julie Albring, I think is your name. And Julie Albring, I believe you're probably from Uganda. Jazakallah for watching our morning live stream program. Let's go on to some more questions which have been coming. There was one very important question the brother was asking regarding zakah. So his question is that if I have given or if I've borrowed somebody £15,000, but currently with all of my expenses and what I have in my bank account, and I believe you said you had some debts as well, minor debts you said, which comes to about a few £1,000s. He said, do I need to give zakah? Do I need to give zakah because I'm in debt? If you include the £15,000 that you have borrowed to your family member, then no, you are not in debt. You have to include that £15,000 as well, okay, in your sort of income once you work out your calculations, because obviously you are expecting that money to come back to you. If you're not expecting that money to come back, that loan that you've given, then yes, you are in deficit. Then there's no zakah upon you, okay? However, if you are expecting back the £15,000, then you will include that in your income. So include that in your income along with all of the other money that you have in your wallet, in your bank account, whatever. So you work that out, and then you will work out your debt. So you said you had a few £1,000 debt. So you bring that in, bring in your debt. You can even bring in your outstanding bill payments that you've got for the current month, and then you will work it out. And the difference, I don't know, might be something like you being £10,000, in debit. So in that case, you will have to give zakah 2.5% on the £10,000. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. let's go on if there's any more questions. Subhanallah is saying, giving salam. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope that you are well. And Jazakallah for joining our live stream. Again, every Saturday we will be here. If you have any questions, then you can post your questions on our program. Just reading a few more questions coming in from our various other platforms as well, because as mentioned, we are live on TikTok and YouTube, and at this moment of time I've got people who are sending messages on WhatsApp as well and have questions as well. Somebody's asking regarding the Uganda project and asking regarding food parcels, and okay, I am 10 and I'm fasting. Well done, subhanallah. We should all say takbir to that. Subhanallah, he's 10 years old and he's fasting. Well done. You are a legend. Well done. Right, so somebody was asking on WhatsApp regarding the food parcels that we're doing. So yes, you can give zakah and you can give sadaqah for the Ramadan food parcels. It's £30 per parcel, and it's for a family of up to 5 to 6 people. Okay, and it's £30. You can give zakah and sadaqah. And if you wish to donate for the full month, then it's £100 for the full month to donate to a family in Uganda, so they're able to also enjoy the iftar and suhoor meals as well. So I hope that answers the question. There's another question coming in. Can we use body oils and creams whilst fasting? Yes, you can. There's no harm, because oils and creams, they only massage, right? They're okay to use, using it for the purpose of massaging, and they only moisten the skin, and they don't affect the inside of the body. So you can, there's no harm in using creams and oils. There's no harm in using what I was mentioning was perfume and itar, putting something like bukhur on as well. Absolutely no harm in bukhur. Let's go on to our next question. This is a yes. What are the benefits of suhoor? Somebody was asking, what are the benefits of suhoor? So the morning meal, is very blessed. You should partake in the morning meal. Of course, it's very important that you should partake in the morning meal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَمَلَائِكَتَهُ يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى الْمُتَصَحِّرِينَ. And the benefits are that, number one, the meal that you take during the suhoor, it will benefit you as well, and it will give you strength for the rest of the day. Okay, but then no cheating, of course. You can't eat chocolates and crisps during the day. The suhoor will do the job for you. Okay, keep you going till the time of iftar. That's the first thing. Secondly, it gives you a chance to perform tahajjud time, because that is very close, isn't it? That time is very close to tahajjud time. Number three, it also gives you a chance to recite the Quran. Okay, it gives you a chance to recite the Quran. And at that time, there's no distractions. You won't have children crying and running around the house and making a lot of noise. And it also gives you a chance to pray your Fajr Salah as well. Also gives you a chance to pray your Fajr Salah. So of course you should be partaking in the morning meal. Once again, Jazakallah for your questions which are coming in on TikTok and have been coming in on the YouTube and on WhatsApp as well. So let's go to a question that came in earlier on. Well, it came in yesterday from somebody on WhatsApp, and they were asking regarding does a medical injection rather break the fast? So a medical injection will not break the fast as long as, number one, it does not nourish the body, and number two, it does not reach the stomach. Okay, so you're okay to have your injection. Can you do sugar test whilst fasting? Yes, there's no harm in doing a blood test or to check your blood sugar levels during the fast. Okay, especially when you feel or you're having symptoms and you feel that you might pass out or you're feeling weak, then in that case you should of course sit down and get your sugar levels tested. So there's no harm in that. Can a person with type 2 diabetes fast? This is a very common question. So speak to a medical expert. Okay, and I mean, if your baseline, if it's your baseline is fine, it's okay, then there's no harm. Otherwise, if your doctor or your whoever your expert is, your nurse or whoever is telling you no, you don't fast or you shouldn't fast, then yes, you should abstain from fasting. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions coming in on YouTube, and then we'll go on to I am 10 and fasting. I gave £2,000 zakah. Well done, mashallah. That's very good of you. May Allah reward you for that. A young man giving a lot of zakat money. You must be very rich. You must be very rich. May Allah reward you. Has my bakhur gone out? Has it dried out? A little pinch inside? I think my bakhur is gone. Yeah, it's gone, dried out. There's a bit of, there's a tiny bit of smoke left. Tiny bit left. It smells very nice. SubhanAllah. Right, let's carry on. There's more questions regarding Ramadan. Is it okay to use eye, ear, and nose drops? Yes, of course. But it's important that number one, the liquid does not reach the stomach. That's the first thing, that liquid should not reach the stomach. And number two, it should not nourish the body. And also it should not reach so it should not be like food and drink. Okay, but when you are using nose drops, then you have to be careful. You have to be careful that the nose drops don't go down your throat and into your stomach, because that will break your fast. That's something you need to be careful about. Can we take insulin shots? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking insulin shots during the day for the purpose of medical reasons. Okay, your fast does not break and you don't need to return the fast. Somebody else is asking, does a diabetic need to fast? Again, this depends on the severity of the illness. So if a trustworthy doctor tells you not to fast, then you should take that medical advice and you should abstain from fasting. If it will be harmful for you, then of course you should abstain from fasting. few more questions as well. Where are we? Can I take tablets or sucking tablets? So any tablets or capsules, etc., that go down the throat will break the fast. Okay, so if you're taking antibiotics, if you're taking painkillers, then those will break the fast. How if you put a small drop of medicine on your tongue, sometimes the homeopathios, they give you these small drops or these very small white balls that if you put on your tongue, it melts. Then those will not break the fast because they don't go down the throat. But any medication, anything that does go down the throat, will break the fast, and Allah knows best. Can I use oxygen? Yes, of course. It doesn't break the fast because it's only air compressed in a bottle, and it's taken to help with breathing, and there's no substance to it as well. So yes, you can. There is no harm in that. One of the sisters was asking, what can we do if we are on our menstrual cycle and we're not able to fast and we're not able to read the Quran, we're not able to do anything? What should we do? Okay, well, you can pray dhikr. That's the first thing. Okay, you can do dhikr. There's no harm in that. Of course, you can't physically touch the Quran, but if you know any verses off by heart, then you can read the Quran. There's no harm in that. You can do that. And there's various other deeds that you can do. Engage in, you know, um, giving charity on those particular days where you're not fasting. Try to give more charity on those days. Cooking, of course, for the sisters especially, should be kept to a limit. But in the days that you are not fasting, obviously you're not praying Salah, you won't be praying Quran, then perhaps it would be a good idea on those days to do a bit of extra cooking, a bit of extra food, and to share it with your family and friends, and that would be very rewarding for you. Okay. If a drop of water goes on your tongue, if you're fast broken, a drawing picture of a human, haram. Okay. No. If a water it goes on your tongue, then no, you're fine. No problem with that. Is drawing a picture of human haram? Is disliked. Yes, you should avoid drawing pictures. It's disliked. Right. Somebody's asking about smoking. Does smoking break the fast? Smoking, hookah, shisha, all of these, they will break the fast, and the person who engages in them will be sinful for breaking the fast, and they will have to pay kafara. And do you know how much kafara it is? As I mentioned. Anybody? The kafara? What did I mention earlier on? How much is kafara? Come on. Those of you watching on TikTok, those of you who are watching on YouTube, what is the kafara? Anybody? Yes, but how much is it? Well done, Lauri Ribaz. But how much is it for one fast kafara? Remember, that's fidya. I'm talking about kafara. Lauri Ribaz, where are you from? Can you let me know? Are you from Uganda? Okay, where are you from? Are you from Uganda? So kafara is £300 for the entire month. So somebody decided to smoke. Oh, mashallah. Kurdistan in Iraq. Chawni Bashi. Chawni Bashi. See, I know a bit of Kurdish. Yes, I can speak a bit of Kurdish. Yeah, so it's £300, okay? Yeah. Zor Supas. Zor Supas. Did I say that correct? Zor Supas. Well done. I presume you are returning back the compliment. Yes, you're returning back the compliment. Zor Supas. Did I say that correct? Yes, yeah. I have a lot of friends who are from Kurdistan. Wa alaikum assalam, Hasib. How are you? And what are you doing today? Okay, we're going to be finishing off in a few moments. So, wa alaikum assalam. Let's go back onto our TikTok stream and then see if there's anyone there with any questions. Any questions coming in? Gee, somebody's asking. I've already answered this question regarding the sisters asking regarding praying Quran on a menstrual cycle. What can we do if we are not praying? I've just answered that question, sister. Do some dhikrs, do istighfar, do other good deeds that you can. I would recommend, and there's a lot of these resources available if you go online, and if you put a search in good deeds sisters can do on their menstrual cycle, honestly, you'd be amazed at how many things will come up. So this you're asking, and I've said do dhikr, do istighfar. I said to you do give sadaqah, give extra sadaqah in the month of Ramadan whilst you're not fasting, and the cooking should be done to a minimum in Ramadan. But because you're not praying, then I suppose there's no harm in you doing a bit of extra cooking, so that other people can, or you can share the food, and that's very rewarding as well. Feeding the fasting person is very rewarding as well. Subhanallah, I am 10 and I am on Quran. Well done. Are you going to tell us which country you are from? Subhanallah. Which country are you from? Are you from Kurdistan? Are you from Uganda? Are you from England? Where are you from? You're going to tell us? You're going to share your country with us? How's the rosa going for you, Janab? Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, fasting is always a blessing, and I'm hoping and praying that you are also benefiting in the month of Ramadan, and that you are reaping the rewards and making the most of the month of Ramadan. Ameen. UK, very nice, subhanAllah. It's very good. Very good, subhanAllah. So anyway, sister, I hope that answers your question. We'll take a few more questions and then we're going to end the live stream. Uh, does nicotine patches break to fast? So firstly, what you need to know is that these patches will not break to fast because they are applied to the skin, okay? And there is no direct penetration to the stomach or the brain. So because of that, no, your fast will not be broken. Your fast is safe. So you have nothing to worry about. Okay? Okay. I hope that answers your question. We'll take a few more questions and then we're going to end the live stream. Right, so we are based in the UK. Wa alaikum salam. Love Google. How are you? I hope you are well. We are based in the UK, in England, in Makki Masjid. So I think the questions are drying out now. I think everybody's now going back to their beds to finish off their nap. In case, okay, somebody's asking, when is your next, uh, somebody's asking, when is your next live stream? Well, the next live stream will be at 4:45, and that's the book that we're studying, which is Eternal Messages from the Quran. So if I just show you a copy of that, there you go. So we're going through Eternal Messages from the Quran, 120 verses of the Quran, and you join us after Asr Salah at 4:45, and we will be covering that. Okay, so join us at 4:45, inshallah, and you will be benefiting a lot. Yes, UK time, 4:45. Okay, Marwa Fardi, how are you? And where are you from? Are you from England? Are you from Uganda, America? Where are you from? And your question is very important. I really like your question. And your question is, can you prove? Okay, Marwa, Afghanistan. Well done. Right. So your question is very nice. You speak Pashto? Bakhair ragle. Sanga jore. Bakhair ragle. Sanga jore. So your question is, can you prove Jesus is not God? Okay, and you've asked that twice. Can you prove Jesus is not God? What if I said to you, can you prove that Jesus is God? Yeah. What if I ask you, can you prove Jesus is God? How would you go about answering that question? Because this question has absolutely just come out of the blue. Okay, it's not related to Ramadan, but I'm presuming that you would like some evidences. Okay, but the fact that I haven't mentioned Jesus in today's live stream. Okay, so again, that's fine. What you will say to your friends, is, can you prove that he is God through your holy scriptures? Do you understand? So that's the question you need to put to them. You say to them, give us one verse in the Bible, okay, in which it is explicitly mentioned that Jesus himself has said that he is not only God, but the Son of God, or part of the Holy Trinity. Okay? And you say that we don't want translations or commentaries. So you say we don't want the New King James Version Bible or any other testament that you have. I would like to know from original sources, like we have this Quran. So when we prove something to people, right, we go back to this Quran. And this Quran is in its original form. So when we want to prove something, we will prove it from this Quran, which is over 1,445 years old. We don't prove things through commentaries, and we don't prove things through secondary sources. We go back to our primary source, which is the Quran. the primary source, right? So again, what you will say to your friend is Jesus did not speak English, so don't give me translations. I want your original sources, okay? Original text, whether it be in Aramaic, whether it be in Greek, whatever you have, okay? Even though we know that Jesus spoke Aramaic, he was Palestinian, right? So just say to them, look, all we want is evidence from your authentic manuscripts, right, that Jesus said he was God, and you leave it at that, okay? Like when we claim something, we go back to our original Quran. Do you understand? Yes, and I hope that answers the question. Let's see if there's any more questions coming in on TikTok. Okay, so no, there's no more questions on TikTok, so we will stick to the live stream. Yes, I have the Bible as well, and I've read the Bible. I've studied various passages of the Bible, and I can assure you that I did not come across an explicit verse in which that's been mentioned. We are based in the UK, England. We are in England. I'm hoping that you are having a blessed Ramadan. Do you want me to do a backflip? Yeah. Gone are the days I was able to do a backflip, Raven. Perhaps we could add you on live and you can do something for us. Okay. Yes. We were quite good. We were a lot younger. Right. Love Google. I'm gonna go to your question. It is haram, right? What is haram? What was the original question? Because you said, hello, Shaykh, and then you said it is haram, right? So I don't know what your question was. No, I'm born in England. Yes. Why isn't fellatio haram in Islam? Okay, 1 second. Yes, so I was born here in the UK, and Alhamdulillah, that's where we're doing our work. Okay. Love Google. Yes, I know your question. It's not very relevant to our live stream, is it? We're going to keep it to Ramadan questions. Perhaps that's a question that could be asked not at 12:24 in the afternoon, but at 12:24 in the night.